Today I'm going to be taking a look at a show that is a copy of another show which copies another show. You remember Family Guy? You remember when you liked Family Guy? And after season 8, things kind of started to go awry, and you know, they just like to throw random things at the dartboard, just constant cutaways, no setups to any jokes, and just random plot lines, hoping and praying that you'll laugh. Yeah, the Family Guy Dark Ages, I like to call it. Well, what if I told you that a studio looked at that and was like, let's copy that, we need 5 people, we need a talking animal, and we need a slightly different setting, and we're just gonna shoot for the stars, and we were left with Brickleberry. I did not like Brickleberry. I did not find it enjoyable. I thought it was just random, gross out, or nonsensical humor that just didn't work, especially in a 22-minute format. And then I was just blasted with my comment section, watch Paradise PD! Paradise PD! What is Paradise PD? Well, it's made by the same exact people, and they just were like, oh man, we had a show that kind of failed that only a small minority of people like. What if we just made the exact same show? But they're at a police department instead of being park rangers. 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, we need it all! Yeah, that just doesn't sound like it's gonna work. It sounds like an 85-year-old man trying to do his wife one more time, and he just walks up to her, and he gets it up. He surprisingly got it up, and all that comes out is just dust. I don't understand how you could take a show that is slightly awful, you know, it's not the worst thing that's ever been made, but I would never want to watch it again, and just be like, oh man, this format is incredible, let's make another show just like it. And I may sound negative, but I am going to be going into this hoping that it's either so bad that it's good, or it is actually a good show. That is the question. Is Paradise PD good or bad? And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. I upload almost every single day, and you don't want to miss it. And if you want a place where you can talk about your favorite shows, movies, games, all that good stuff, my Discord will be in the description. Now let's take a look at Paradise PD. The first episode I'm going to be taking a look at with a 7.3 on IMDb is Christmas in Paradise. And yes, it's a Christmas special. Did it lift me up? Did the festivities and holiday joy bring my spirits up to give this episode a phenomenal ranking? No. This is disgusting, abhorrent, and I don't know how people could possibly greenlist something like this. And believe it or not, this is the best episode in the series. It's the highest rated. So I'm scared for the rest of the episodes. This show has a horrible feature. It's just like Brickleberry if they were to take all the worst aspects and just multiply it to 100. It's so odd. They have this insane obsession that genitalia equals funny. Oh my god, is that a man's penis? Wow, oh my god, I'm gonna be rolling on the floor laughing for days because there's just a penis on screen. God, that's what you call comedy. No setting it up, no delivery, just, wow, you have a penis. Is that soft? Or is that hard? Yeah, that's really funny, man. And then they also have the same obsession that Brickleberry had in some aspects, where they really like killing animals. And I'm not like a PETA guy. I love me some bacon, some steak. I love a good rousing round of meat. You know, I'm all for it. But when you just kill animals with no build-up, no setup, just for the sake of murdering animals, I don't find it funny. There's literally a scene in this episode where this guy just picks up a possum and just explodes its head with his hand for no reason. No build-up to the joke, nothing to amplify a scene, and then it's immediately glossed over. There was actually no reason for this guy to kill that possum. It just happens. And that's just something they do throughout the entire episode. It's so odd. But either way, let's get into the fun, shall we? This episode opens with this mall Santa being crushed by a fat man who is one of the main characters. His name is Dusty, and he's big, and the entire joke is, oh, I'm so heavy, and I'm sitting on Santa. And he wants a choo-choo train, and Santa's like, oh, my femur! Get off me, big boy!
What? Santa! I want a pony! My last one hung himself!
And so there's a mom who wants her child to get a turn on Santa, and so he gets off, and then we learn that the mom's kid is just even bigger than the guy and sits on him. So we just got 2 double whammy fat jokes off the beginning, and they didn't really land. It's not like the jokes themselves are atrocious by any means. They're fine. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just like average. If you like watching a mall Santa get crushed by really obese people, then it's your cup of tea. Personally, it didn't land for me. But guess what? You're just gonna have rapid fire comedy, so if you didn't get like that joke, there's gonna be be another joke to maybe make you laugh. The perfect way to write a show. Don't set up anything, don't explain anything, just have things happen for no reason and hope you get the audience to laugh. Yeah, so we cut to the hospital and there's this character named Kevin who is exploring this like drug deal murder which put this one character in a coma. His name is Fitzgerald, I think, and he's just sitting there in the coma and we get this gag where he's like dying and the doctors keep trying to bring him to life. That was whatever. Again, it's just that rapid fire comedy with no setup, no like reason to happen. It's just, let's beat this dying man's chest. Live, damn you, live. It's just whatever. I don't really care. Then we cut to the Paradise PD office and we get a whole lot of shenanigans here. We have the big guy Dusty who wants to make Christmas happen so that he could get his choo-choo train. Good for him. And then we meet this girl who is like obsessively in love with him and wants to just feel all of his tubby lard all up in her. She wants it real bad. Nothing like a big man's lard to fill you up. That's all you could ever really ask for, right? You know, nothing like lard for Christmas. She's really obsessed with this guy, like wants him so bad. Good for her, but it's kind of obsessive. But Dusty says if he gets the holiday spirit and gets his choo-choo train, then he's willing to give her a smooch. So, yes, a consensual smooch is what she is after. And then, of course, we get introduced to the dog in the series. I don't remember his name. I don't care because guess what he is? He's cynical. He hates the world. He's an asshole. Why can't adult animations just make a dog? That is cool. That is a vibe. Brian Griffin objectively sucks. The bear from Brickleberry was atrocious and annoying. And here we have another character who is an animal, who talks, who is a cynical asshole. What is with it? I don't get it. Why do adult animation shows always have to make the talking animal such a prick? I'll never get it. I don't get it. It just makes no sense. We then, of course, cut to the chief and his girlfriend, who is also the father of Kevin, and they're just talking about doing dirty, nasty things to each other. He's like, will you jug my balls like a mime? And then she goes down on him, and that's the entire joke. Will you juggle my balls like a mime? And then the son walks in, the mom gives the son a smooch, and he's like, oh man, this tastes kind of funky. What do you eat, asparagus? Man, that was really funny. He just tasted his dad's ball juice. My God, I'm thrilled, I'm jazzed, I'm feeling so festive and Christmassy. Wow. So he's now trying to figure out who is causing all of the drug dealings and the murders. He suspects his father, but then he decides to lean into Gina. That's the girl that's in Dusty. And I know I'm explaining a lot of things. There's just so much stuff going on. So he decides to stay the night at Gina's, and there's a lot of stuff in this episode that I can't show on screen, but Gina has a statue of Dusty naked, which is already a whole entirely level of weird, and she goes to sleep and he pulls a latch on its penis, which opens her security camera room, and we get into one of the strangest things that I've probably ever seen, just like written or done. Dusty, the big man, he's laying on the floor naked, and he's like, oh boy, guys, it's bath time! And a bunch of cats on the security camera, they just run up to his body and start licking him everywhere, like 10 cats. And then Gina, the girl that's obsessed with him, she's wearing a cat suit and just goes straight for his balls and starts a-licking.
Hater, Mr. Friskers, you getting big? Hey, don't lick me there.
Why? I mean, like, I guess you're just going for shock value humor, but this isn't the type of thing that's gonna get me to laugh. It's gonna make me question everything and question the people writing this and if they like it. I feel like they like it. I don't know. It's just, oh, it's so odd. So we then cut to Dusty the next day, who is singing a Christmas song, which was whatever it was. Excuse me. It wasn't very good. It was just average. But I do like he's singing it to the entire town, and just the second he stops, they all jump him and beat him. That got me to laugh. I enjoyed that. Because it was set up well. You know, you get to see everybody reacting to him. They're not into this Christmas stuff. They hate it. So of course they're gonna jump him after he's trying to spread some holiday cheer. Fuck that guy. Fuck you. Like, it makes sense. It makes sense why they did that to him, which is probably why it made me laugh more than anything else. It was surprising, yes, but it was actually set up. Wow. You set up a joke and it made me laugh? What a concept. What an interesting concept. It's so odd. So we then cut to this Christmas party, and again, they're violating the man who is supposedly in a coma by just, like, force feeding him a lot of eggnog, which was very interesting. We have more stuff with the cynical dog being cynical. He hates his life. I don't care. And then we get some thrilling comedy where they use the guy who's supposedly in a coma, and they're just like, wow, Congo with a black man.
La 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 la, da 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 da. Congo with the black guy.
Did that make you laugh? Did that get you up out of your seat and just... Yeah, baby. Woo, yeah, baby. They were doing the Congo with his body, and they said, Congo with a black man. Was that the best setup joke you've ever heard? Was that thrilling? Was that interesting? Was that amazing? Yeah, I bet it was. That's the equivalent of me saying, oh, why did the chicken cross the road? And then I just didn't say anything else. It's brain dead. It's actually just doesn't even require you to write anything down. It's just nonsensical bullshit. So, oh yeah, sorry, I have my notes over here. We then cut to Kevin, and he is sitting in the bathroom, and he's like going to find some evidence, and there's this old guy he suspects, and he sees a hole in the wall, and he's just like, glory! I found some evidence! And he does that, but less funny, and he just sticks his mouth in it. I can't show this part of the episode, but the old man puts his, silly willy through it, and yeah, he gets a little taste, and then he has the conversation with the old man. He's trying to figure out what he knows, and yeah, he just got a penis in his mouth, and that's supposed to be the comedy of it. Again, no setup, just walks in, sees a hole in the wall. Oh yeah, this is so good! Oh my god! You must be a murderer! It's great. It's unbelievable. It's so good. And God, bro. And then we cut to Kevin, who is now suspecting his father again. He's done with Dusty. He's done with Gina. He's still trying to find out who's doing the murders, who's doing all the drug-related stuff. And he got, a bit of a suspect because of the old guy. So he's suspecting his own father is doing that. And so he goes to the house, and that is where we get even more animal abuse, to where he's hunting for everything. And he's like, what if he hid the drugs in the gerbil? And so we just cut to him blending the gerbil.
Gerbil.
Nope.
Hilarious. It's not even, he doesn't even crack a wise joke like, oh man, I thought that sure put me in a furball. I don't fucking know. I can't make a joke of it because it's not a joke. It's just him killing a gerbil for no reason. It's wild. And then he has this anecdote where he's telling a grandiose story about when he found his father with boobs. And that's fine. His father stopped taking his testosterone. So, you think it'd be a normal thing where he walks in on his dad and he's like, oh, Dad, I didn't know he had boobies. No, he runs up to him and he's like, let me fondle him. Let me fondle him right now. I need to fondle him. Dad, please, I want to fondle your titties. I need them so badly. Yeah. I can't show that on screen for obvious reasons, but you could understand what I'm going through, can't you? Can't you relate to the immense comedy I'm feeling deep inside of me? The immense jokes that are just coursing through my veins? I've never felt more laughter come out of my body than making this video. So, he then goes back to the hotel room and the hospital room, and he's talking to the guy in the coma, and for some reason there's just the killer's phone on the floor, and of course that makes sense later in the episode, I guess, but right then, there was no build up to that. The entire story just goes out of the way, because why would the killer's phone or the drug dealer's phone be right there on the floor for you to pick up and then call the guy? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Nothing is addressed in this episode. It's just things happening. So we then cut to everybody celebrating at this Christmas tree. We get the possum dying joke.
Okay, Robbie, who needs to jerk off a two-man bobsled team when you can do this?
And Dusty, he's with a bunch of people singing a horrible, atrocious song about hating Jews. Yeah, because that spreads holiday cheer, I guess. I don't know, it's not like I was offended by it. I don't care, it's humor, it's comedy, but it served no purpose in the episode. It's just there. It's just there, and then they stop singing, and there's just this guy who shows up, and they're like, look, a black man, look, he's naked, look at his penis.
Sign in for the gangbang.
I can't tell if that wiener's big or just looks big on you, little man.
Wow, my God. I should do stand-up, really. I'll just walk in there, get up to the microphone, and just go, cock, dick, schlong. And then I'll probably get to star in movies. I'll get my own show. I'll get to go to Saudi Arabia and just get that blood money because I said penis. Yeah, it's just wild, the decisions that they made while writing this episode. I'll never understand it. I'll never relate to anything that's going on. And, yeah, there is one joke that I actually do like that comes up where the dog, again, I don't remember his name, he gets some good old-fashioned snow, some coke, some good coke, and he snorts it. And then they do a Grinch joke where his heart grows 3 times that day, and then he collapses.
His heart grew 3 sizes that day, which is extremely unhealthy, most doctors say.
I actually thought that was really funny. That was set up well. I mean, it came out of nowhere, but you can get the big picture. It's a Grinch joke. It relates to something that a lot of people can understand, and it was funny. That's laugh number 2. I should have laughed a lot more because they've been talking about penises, but, you know, here we are. So, Dusty meets up with the drug dealer kingpin guy who turns out to be Santa Claus, and they have a good old-fashioned brawl, which ends with him brutally slaughtering Santa, which was fine, I guess. I guess it's shocking, but yeah, he then gets arrested. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. I'm not going to talk about the serialization stuff. It turns out the guy in the coma isn't actually in a coma. He's actually the kingpin guy, and he's planning on killing Kevin. I don't care. I don't care. This is one of the most atrocious viewing experiences I've ever had. This is worse than every single episode of Brickleberry I watched. There is nothing redeemable here. There is nothing to watch with any substance. Only 2 jokes in the entire episode were funny to me. One of them was actually set up with a beautiful Christmas song where I got to watch the characters react to all of that holiday cheer. They clearly weren't having any of it, and then he got jumped, which objectively was funny. The other one just shocked me because it was a Grinch joke, but in relations to taking too much cocaine. That was actually really funny. I enjoyed that a lot. Everything else had 0 setup, 0 substance, was either, hey, look at this genitalia, it's really funny, you'll love it, you'll want it, and you'll need it, or, hey, look, we just killed an animal, that was really funny, or hey, here's us doing something so unbelievably shocking to a guy in a coma, are you laughing yet? Are you laughing? Are you loving it? How did you like that scene? None of it works, at least for me. I just can't get past anything in this episode. It is one of the worst viewing experiences I've ever had, and if this is supposedly the best episode in the series, I am very, very terrified for where this is going. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would give it a 1 out of 10, which pains me to say. I don't throw those out lightly, but man, this was so hard to watch. The next episode I'm going to be watching is Showdown at Obese Coral with a 6.4 on IMDb. And I think I've finally found a show that I could definitely say is at the top of the leaderboard for worst show I've ever seen. This is so utterly abysmal in every way. It's supposed to be a body positivity episode in a weird way, but it glorifies it and makes it disgusting and makes it so hard to watch Dusty. He's the main character once again for this episode, just being a giant tub of lard, getting everybody else to act like a tub of lard and just eat constantly in disgusting, abhorrent ways, and all the jokes that go along with it. I just cannot in my right mind approve in any way. It's been so long since I've watched something with a scowl on my face, my chest tightening, my right arm getting numb. Oh, it's happening. Oh, this show is just so shit. I'm gonna fucking die. Man, it's actually like sitting down and watching Ellen, unironically. Like, yeah, you give those people money and then take it away later. Yeah, you're a good person, Ellen. Like those people who can unironically watch that show with a smile on their face. That's what this feels like, at least to me. It's torture. The episode opens up with a fitness test and you think, okay, we're gonna get some good stuff out of this. We don't. They start doing fitness, Dusty shows up, he starts eating lasagna, and then he takes off all his clothes and he just looks like a big old lardy. Like I'm a big guy, you know. I struggle with overweight problems here and there, but I would never let myself get to this point where I would glorify being 600 pounds and be like, yeah, this is a good thing. Yeah, baby, I'm having so good, I'm so fat. And it's just so hard to watch. Like, him be so positive about it while doing such gross and abhorrent things that it makes me kind of angry. And Gina, of course, she's obsessed with him, and we get this weird, joke where she's rubbing her squid, jorking her pork. I don't know, I've never had to talk about a female rubbing her clit on this channel, so that's very odd, meowing her cat, to say the least. And she goes into the masturbation hut and she starts talking about how, yeah, sit on me, Dusty! Sit on me like a poor person getting attacked on Black Friday!
Ah, squash me, Dusty. Crush me like a poor person on Black Friday.
That was odd. Kind of a funny sentence, but under the circumstances, I was not vibing with it. And they have the audacity to make a Westworld joke, talking about season 2, saying that it's horrible, comparing it to flies having dirty, stinky sex on a turd. Like, you produce this, you have people watch this, you have people maybe laughing at this, and you have the audacity to compare it to Westworld. Was Westworld season 2 the best thing ever? No, but compared to this slop that if you showed it to a elderly man, I'm talking only like 62, he would pass away. Like, genuinely, this is such abhorrent slop, and you compare it to Westworld? Who do you think you are? Ugh. So we then cut to Fitzgerald. He apparently has a dolphin wife. Yeah, he has sex with a dolphin, a actual dolphin, and he walks in and they're talking about how he doesn't do anything, and then it actually shows the two flies having sex on a turd, and he makes the Westworld joke again.
This is more entertaining than season 2 of Westworld.
Within 2 minutes of it already happening, it felt like they wanted to be like Family Guy and add a cutaway to the flies having sex, but they didn't know how to associate that, so they made it actually happen with the B-plot. And the B-plot is about Fitzgerald and his dolphin wife looking for a job, which I don't care about. Why would I care about this? You don't even make it interesting. It's just so stupid. It's actually unbelievably dumb. So then we cut to, what's his face? Dusty, who now is going to lose his job if he doesn't lose some weight. So he joins Weight Watchers and he turns it into a cult, and they all just start eating a bunch of food. And we cut to Gina, who is, struggling with her masturbation issues, and she's like watching them through a window, and she's like, gobble gobble, you hungry hippos, and she's doing it so much that she's an addict and is just getting real freaky with it. And then of course, how could we end this scene with such unbelievable comedy? We have them all eating and feasting, and Dusty grabs what he thinks is a pickle, he bites into it, and he's like, oh, it's a cat turd.
Ooh, sausage. Nope, that was the cat turd.
Starts just slurring down a cat turd. What was funny about that? I don't understand the idea that gross out humor in this sense is funny. I just watched a fat guy eat a cat turd. What is good about that? I don't care about it. Why was there no setup for that? There was just nothing. It's just him eating cat shit, and why? I just don't get it. Like, I've talked about Mr. Pickles when I make videos like this, but at least Mr. Pickles knew what it was trying to do, what it was trying to set up. That happened for no reason. I hate it. I hate it so unbelievably much. So he starts this, like, hernia or whatever, and then we cut back to Fitzgerald, who has a apparently son who is just a dog who is just dry humping him as he's talking to his dolphin wife about getting a job. So he quits his own job because his wife gets hired at SeaWorld. Wow, does that sound like a thrilling B-plot with a dolphin? There's no jokes, by the way. He just walks in, and I guess the joke is supposed to be that his dog is humping his leg, like, aggressively, and it's his actual son. And then the dolphin says, I got a job at SeaWorld. So he quits his job. Like, that's it. That's all there is. What is the B-plot? What is the point of writing that? Who in the writer's room was like, okay, so we're gonna have this guy. He's gonna have a dolphin wife. And his dolphin wife's gonna work at SeaWorld. And that's it. That's the joke. That's the focal point. That's all there is. I know people had to watch this and say this is good writing, this is good for a show. I feel like there had to at least been two sides of the coin, two screenings. You have one guy who's like, oh my gosh, that guy is dating a dolphin? That would never happen IRL unless you're a stinky, evil bestiality person. So that's what makes it funny, right? And then there's another screening with, I don't know, Arthur Morgan. Well, I'm afraid he's dating a dolphin, Dutch. It's unnatural. Like, it had to be something like that, to where somebody had to say something, because there's no joke in it. Later on, I guess there is a joke, but it doesn't even remotely relate to the fact that it's a dolphin. I don't get why he's dating a dolphin. Why? What's the point? Is it just supposed to be absurd that it makes me laugh? Because it doesn't. It doesn't. It's stupid. So we then cut to, the chief, and he's banning all the fat people, and we see this thing with John Goodman. That was a little bit shocking. What are you doing here, John? Looking for Boo? Kitty!
Starting with you, John Goodman.
I knew I'd be back.
I don't know, that's a Monsters, Inc. joke, I guess. There's really no substance to it. So he bans fat people. We cut to, Gina, who is just jorking her meat, rubbing her squid so much that it starts to become like a hernia. So she goes to the hospital, and I actually did enjoy this joke. It turned me from scowling all angrily to, you know, being normal, because I was so angry that I don't think I could physically laugh at that point. But, she's all like, yeah, my clit has grown, and he's like, clitoris? Which dinosaurs aren't real anymore.
It's a clitoris.
Oh, Gina, that's just not possible. You see, a meteor wiped them all out and they went extinct.
Which I thought was kind of funny. I actually liked that. That was funny. That was set up well. But either way, she has a giant herniated clit, so she has to put a cone on it and lock it up, which is odd, and she's not allowed to use it or else really bad things will happen. And so, Dusty, he doesn't really like this ban on fat people, so he just starts walking around naked. So we have a bunch of my 600-pound life contenders all walking around huge AF, all bigging it up. Yeah, so that's cool. And then he sucks the chief inside of him, which was very odd. Like, genuinely, he just sucks him in.
It's in there somewhere. Oh shit, I'm getting sucked in! Kevin, grab my legs!
So that's some great comedy going on there, I guess. I don't know. So we then cut to the dolphin again, he's dating and is working at SeaWorld now. And she gets fired because she's wet and was handling cotton candy, so now they have their own struggles, which, again, was pointless and didn't add anything to the episode. And you know what the culmination of this joke is? You know what it is? It doesn't even relate to the dolphin. It's Fitzgerald just walking up to his wife because nobody likes him and they don't have enough money for gas, so they're at the gas station, and he's trying to get free gas, so he's like, hey, baby, I'm gonna have to give the store clerk a picture of your dolphin pussy. What? Why? What is happening? What is happening? And she says, no, obviously, because she isn't a little skanky. She's not gonna do that. So he goes inside and he has a picture of his own asshole, which was just ready. He had that ready, prepared to use it, which is a question all in its own. And so he takes it and hands it to the clerk, and the clerk goes in his own masturbation hut and just starts jorking to it.
There's one thing I should let you know. That's my butthole!
And that's the culmination of that joke. That's where everything led. That's where we are. Wow. Are you so happy the dolphin joke was present? Because I am. Wow. That was thrilling. That was amazing. God. I love this world. I'm so happy. We then cut to Gina once again, who has the cone on it, and Dusty, he walks over and he's like, oh, mama, you know, you put something in that cone, I can't resist a lick.
What? If I see a cone, I gotta eat ice cream out of it. I thought we established this.
Why? What's wrong with you? Ugh. So, then, things just keep on getting more weird to where the big people, they're all eating at this, like, Golden Corral, which is a buffet, and they break in there and they kill a man and they all just start eating at it like pigs eating out of a trough. So that's lovely. And then the chief invades, and it's revealed that the chief is a really big guy, like fat AF. So he's just been trying to hurt fat people because of his own insecurities, and I guess that's supposed to be the lesson. It's okay to be big, which, yeah, it is, but you should still want to be healthy. Just saying, like, you should still strive to be healthy. Like, you could love your body, which is great. Love who you are, but you should always want to be more healthy. That should be the overall goal. Here, it's just portrayed as eat whatever you want, get a heart attack, and it's still lovely. So, yeah, wonderful message. But either way, the Golden Corral catches on fire, and of course, here we have Gina's just wonderful hero moment where she goes to the restaurant and she rubs one out and just, let's just say, puts out the fire with all of her excrement.
God! She gonna squirt.
Yes, her excrement. Wow. I can't even lie to you. This episode changed my entire perception on reality. I now truly understand my purpose in life. I understand what I'm supposed to do, and what I'm supposed to do is just watch Paradise PD, the show where you get to watch nonsensical humor where they just constantly just talk about genitalia, constantly promote horrible things, constantly have some of the worst jokes I've ever seen. I get to see a herniated clitoris. What else could I possibly need in my life? If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would give it a 1 out of 10. This is abysmal. There's nothing redeeming about it, and I never want to watch this again. This is rare for me. I usually always get to 4 episodes, especially in the 22-minute long shows. I usually strive for 6 episodes when I'm doing 11-minute shows, but I cannot do this anymore. I know I just said I had more episodes, but I can't do this. I have never ranted about a show for 14 minutes straight. The last time I ranted that long was about Margaret from Regular Show, and that was because I literally had every single thing in the database, all of Regular Show, in my brain. I have not been able to rant with no script like that for so long. I don't use scripts for my videos. That was just me shooting on the stupid episode with a little bit of notes right here, just bullet points about the episodes, and it was that god-awful that I just couldn't stop talking about how shit it was. And I feel like it was impacting the video because this is going to be so unbelievably negative, but this show deserves it. It actually does. This is leagues worse than Brickleberry. I understand, like, maybe seeing, like, the potential of Brickleberry, like, there was something there. Maybe if they toned it down a little bit, focused more on the actual story at hand, instead of just random shock humor. They didn't do that. They didn't do that at all. They took all of the shock humor, all of the gross out humor, and just amplified it by so much to create this. And genuinely, somebody had to watch these episodes and say, yes, this is good. And if you are that person, oh man, let's play a game of musical chairs, me and you, 1v1. Oh man, I could take you out in a game of musical chairs, and you'll finally understand that what you did was unbelievably wrong, and it didn't deserve to exist. I haven't felt this passionate about hating something in so long. The last thing, I mean, nothing will top that Total Dramarama Fart Fairy episode. I think that's probably going to be the worst episode that I've ever seen for a very long time. But here, it's probably both of these episodes taking the second place. There is nothing redeeming. And I know I'm rambling on, probably repeating myself a lot, but that's just what this show does to you. It numbs your brain. It makes you question everything. It makes you hate everything. And it actually made me angry. It's like this show was rage baiting me into ranting about it. It's like that's what it wants. Maybe that's what this show is. Maybe it's just all a ploy, all a conspiracy theory to make you so angry that you want to watch the show and hate on the show and get your little cult of friends to all hate it with you. And if you are a Paradise PD defender, I would absolutely love to know why. I would love to know what you could possibly enjoy about this slop, where there is constant shock humor with absolutely no setup, where it's constant gross out humor, where it's constant just the most vile adult jokes you could ever find. I despise this so unbelievably much. I need to go and watch something to cleanse my palate. Maybe I'm gonna go watch that episode of South Park where Jimmy does steroids. Or when Jimmy and Timmy join the Crips. That sounds like a great time. That sounds like it'll make my life so much better. Genuinely. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, 2,000 likes. I know this video isn't gonna get that many views. There's no way. That would take like 40k views to, get to 2k likes, which isn't going to happen. 2k likes, and I will explore 4 more episodes of the show. Hell, you all can pick them. But I hope that I never have to sit down for this slop ever again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. I upload almost every single day. I have a 40,000 subscriber special coming very soon once I hit that landmark, and it is a surprise one. Nobody knows what it is. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.